Okay. Yeah, so I was asked to do a quick tutorial on how to do a circle effect. Like sort of like the cookie cutter in hold on, I wanna find it. There we go. And Sony Vegas. But in a Final Cut. It's a little bit harder, but it's still pretty easy, not anything that complicated. The effect is right here in this part that I'm gonna show you. Right there, that circle thing, it's really easy to do. Pretty much, let me open up a new sequence or something. Okay, so, I just made a random color. Just do light blue. So you could do this with a clip, anything really. It depends on the size of it, but that it did the same thing. Like if it did fill up the whole screen or not, it depends on that. Like if the actual clip was smaller, then the shape would be smaller. But yeah, double click on it or do whatever. Go to your video filters. Down to where it says, hold on, let me put everything away. Matinee, M-A-T-T-E, or whatever. This is usually how you mask. I mean, in Final Cut, there's the 50 point, which I use to mask, but I never use that. So here you just do mask shape, and you drag it down, and automatically it makes a rectangle. Pretty much you just want the oval. You can shape it to the circle. The annoying thing about this is that you have to do both horizontal and vertical. So you have to make sure that it stays a circle the whole way. So you can keyframe it small like this, and then if you want it to get bigger, to make a bigger circle, you have to do both and make sure that it turns into a circle. This just takes a lot of playing around with, but that's pretty much the basics of how to get it in there. That's the effect, mask shape. I also use this to, cut out, they have like weird rounded rectangles, normal rectangles, diamonds, anything really. This is how I make most of my shapes, if I don't use if I don't use Photoshop. So yeah, just playing around with it, pretty easy. You just have to get used to doing it. The part that I just showed you in this meep, that was pretty much my first time actually playing with it. I mean, besides doing like normal cuts and stuff, I don't know. Like, no, not that, whatever. But it's like, before I just used the rectangle, but now I'm just blabbing on because I can. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said a million times. But yeah. So matinee, mask shape, change it to oval. Keyframe both of them to make sure it's a, circle. I mean, if you don't want to keep it a circle and you want it to stretch, you could do that too. But yeah. Just a little more freedom, I guess you could say. I mean, I guess that's what they're trying to do, but Vegas was easier. Yeah, and then the other thing, I don't know if you wanted this or not. Oh, wait. When I talked to you, I said anchor point, but I really meant center. The center, you can use to move it around. If I want to get something like a picture to move straight across, you see these two numbers here? The first one is horizontal, I think, and the second one's vertical. First, I put it on all the way up on one side, and make sure it's sort of lined up right where you want it. And you'll tell that one number is way larger than the other. The one closer to 0 in this case, because 0 is the center, like, if both of them were 0, it'd be right in the center. That means that, you could change that to 0 and it'll be right on the center. But to move it across, hold on, I'm gonna get rid of these keyframes because they're annoying. I click and make a keyframe, move over, drag this over, and if I want to go all the way off, I'd go over here, but let's just do it halfway. But you see how the numbers change, and the second one changed from being 0, which it was at, to -12. Make sure it goes straight, hi kitty. To make sure it goes straight across, it just changed that to 0, that's okay. And it will go straight across. And the same thing it does with vertical, only this one would be closer to the normal point. And it doesn't have to be 0, you know. If I wanted to start up higher, that's like if I wanted to start up here, we could take this number, Command C to copy it, go over and press Command C or V here, and it would be up there. That's how I get my straight across movements, and that's it. Alright, this is on, oh yeah, this is on my backup because I think that's where I'm going to start posting most of my tutorials for Final Cut. So if you like them or want me to do more, tell me and I'll post them on here. So subscribe here, not, I mean, yeah, my main one also, but just here for the tutorials.